Hey guys, this is Lee with Lord's Chimney, and welcome to Monday's Lunch with Lee. What I'm talking about today is chimney inspections. What is a chimney inspection? Most of you probably don't know or have an idea in your head. So if you want to just throw something out there for me, give me a comment. Let me know what you think a chimney inspection is. But I'm going to start off with the very first one that a lot of people assume a chimney inspection is, because it is. This is correct, which is a home inspection. Home inspectors do look at fireplaces and chimneys. They're very, very limited in what they look at and what they're required to look at. It's not really their fault if they miss something. They're looking at general what is the condition of the fireplace? Does it look weird? Does it have rust? Do I see cracks? That kind of thing. Does the damper function correctly? Those are all home inspector, chimney inspection stuff. Now, there are some home inspectors, and I've taught classes to home inspectors all the time, that know a little more, that can go beyond that. But generally, they don't even have the correct equipment to properly do an inspection for a real estate transaction. They're there to look to see if it's unusual. And quite often, what you will hear is, this needs to be cleaned. You know, it's dirty, it has creosote, it has soot. You'll hear all kinds of different words, but basically someone needs to come behind me and look at this because it either has cracks, it has rust, it's dirty, and that allows someone to come back behind them to look at it that hopefully is educated enough to give an opinion. The next home inspection that we hear about, our home inspection, strike that. Chimney inspection that we hear all the time is my electrician, plumber, roofer, they looked at it and they told me it was okay, which they may be 100% correct. But once again, they don't have the proper equipment to see the inside of your chimney. We'll go over that proper equipment right in a second, but they don't have x-ray vision. They can't open your damper, look up at about 8 feet and over at a right angle to see if there's problems or cracks or holes or anything else. Quite often, they just if they look at all, they go up on the roof, they sort of take a glance, but they're not educated to know if this is a correct design or not. They know this doesn't look like the rest of the ones I've seen, which may make it correct, because for us, there are a lot of fireplaces that if you do them absolutely correct, they look different than the rest of the fireplaces in the neighborhood, because the other ones are generally designed incorrectly. So they may have something that may cause a potential leak. They may cause the brick or stone or siding on the outside to deteriorate faster than it should, because not all the mistakes will immediately cause a problem. Some of them do. Some of them will, instead of that brick lasting X amount of time, it's half of X. Or the siding suddenly starts to rot or something like that. So the next one is a contractor, but a lot of people think that this contractor knows fireplaces, and some of them do and some of them don't, but it's a mason. Many masons will build fireplaces. Some of them know what they're doing, some of them do not. But they'll have a mason come out and look at a fireplace, and often masons are taught by OJT, on-the-job training. So, and that person that teaches them has just learned by looking around. So if the person that taught them wrong, or codes and standards change, that if this is an older mason that's learned in the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, it very well may be that what they learned was correct for the time. That's why we continually go to conventions and trade shows and re-educate, because we find out that that is not the optimal way or not the safest way or causes leaks long term. And it's our job to stay educated on the latest design features of a fireplace to make sure it is working correctly. And often that mason, even if they were taught correctly 20 or 30 years ago, or the person that taught them was taught 20 or 30 years ago, they're not staying updated. So they're just building what they've seen, which we go behind masons all the time. And sometimes we're surprised how good they are. And sometimes we're really not, that they're not staying with the times. That brings us to chimney companies. And every chimney company is not created equal. If you've watched my past videos, you'll kind of figure this out. But there are 3 levels of chimney inspection written into NFPA 211, which I know that's gobbledygook, but that is our standard of care for our industry. So a level 1 inspection is no tools, and a ladder's a tool. You don't go up on the roof. You open the damper, you look up, you look around, you can take measurements, but that is a level 1 inspection. Generally, that's designed for people who are cleaning a fireplace. That the level 1 inspection is required in our industry for industry standards. So regardless of what other companies tell you, if they go out and clean, they're doing a level 1 inspection because it's just basically a visual from the base and maybe looking up at the roof, but not getting up on the roof, anything like that. And that's where you get chimney cleans that are done by carpet cleaning companies, by duct cleaning companies, by a lot of pest control companies, although some of them are better and some of them are worse. That's usually what you get by them, which is educated or not. Sometimes they are, sometimes they're not. There are better ones than others. They're just going to open up, take a look, and let you know. It's very, very similar to the home inspector. But they're going to clean. So they may have brushes, they may have manual brushes, they may have rotary brushes that hook to a drill, and they're going to clean. For most customers, there's no way to understand whether they're doing a quality job, whether they're not. You can kind of look from the bottom and kind of tell, but there's a lot of hidden pockets where if you cleaning creosote or soot out of a chimney, as you clean it, it sits in little shelves and pockets. And without the proper mirrors or cameras, there's no way for you to see to tell if they're doing a good job or not. And that is basically a level 1 inspection from a chimney company. That brings us to a level 2 inspection, which, why would you get a level 2 inspection? There are companies like us that we do pretty much a level 2 inspection almost on every job, or at least the majority of it. But this is if you're buying or selling a house, if you've had lightning strikes or chimney fires or that kind of thing where we need to look a little harder. Also, if you're changing fuel, meaning you burn wood, even if you have that gas igniter at the bottom, if you burn wood and you're switching to gas, we need to do a complete inspection to make sure that everything's okay before you do that. We talked about that last week, where it's very, very important that we make sure that before we install a new appliance, gas logs, anything like that, that we double check everything to make it okay. Sure, it's okay. One thing that's included in level 2 inspections, and I have toys, is this. This is one type of chimney inspection camera. This one has a camera in here that spins and has a camera on the top to look up, and you can toggle back and forth. It will record video. It will record pictures. It does an extraordinarily good job of seeing the total inside of your chimney from the inside, top to bottom, and documenting it. So if there's something wrong, we are going to catch it. But a level 2 inspection requires this. It also requires, and this is something that we do when it's an actual level 2 inspection. We don't do it on everything. But if you have a pier and beam house, someone's supposed to crawl underneath the house to inspect the foundation of the fireplace. And like this week has been really wet. That means someone's going to come out and covered in mud. So if it's not a true level 2 that we're required to do, often we will not do that. Or sometimes we do, depending on the day or the customer's request. If you just ask us, we'll do it. It's not a big deal. But that's a level 2 inspection. Now, in order to do a true level 2 inspection, you really need to know how a chimney should be built to modern standards. Not just from the 70s, not just what someone told you, but pick up a code book, no standards, no theory of how a fireplace works to figure out if this is built correctly. And it's very important that the person who does the inspection knows. Level 2 inspection should also involve reporting. So you should get a report, which all of ours do. A report with pictures and explanations, and we call it kind of a narrative report. It has little paragraphs explaining to why this is good, why this is bad. All of our reports have that. So, but that's what you should get on a level 2 inspection. The last stage, and it's something that we rarely ever do, is called a level 3 inspection. If we've inspected everything inside and out, why would you need a level 3 inspection? And the reason for that is there's concealed areas inside of a fireplace that the camera on the inside of your chimney and the looking at the outsides and crawling and doing all that stuff, there's still concealed areas that we can't see. Level 3 inspection is tearing it apart to tell everything from soup to nuts what's in there. There will be no concealed areas. There will be nothing unturned. And we actually inspect everything. You won't see it much because after we're done, we have a chimney that's pretty much torn apart. So now it's about putting it back together again. So we can tell you everything was great, and now we have to put it back together again. So not done much. But when a company says that they have camera systems, this is specifically designed for chimneys, what you don't want to see is this. There are companies that that you want to make sure that you get your money's worth, which is this will go snap-on rods, put up inside the chimney, look around. This kind of camera, taking pictures from the bottom, just looking up, is not truly a level 2 type camera inspection. So you want to make sure that if that's what you need and that's what you're paying for and that's what you're getting, that you get your money's worth. So that's it for today. If you think this is valuable at all, please share it so we can help as many people as possible. Like our Facebook pages, follow it, YouTube. This is streaming on YouTube as well. Follow our YouTube channel and give us some comments. Let us know feedback one way or the other. If you hate it, let us know. If you love it, let us know, because any feedback is good feedback. So thank you today. I appreciate it.